Thanks for kicking us off, guys. It's really great to have you here, and thank you for your patience through all of those welcome speeches. So where are we headed and where should we be heading? I think that was the best place to start for a performance marketing summit. So let's get you comfortable, and we will get you to introduce yourselves.
And my mic on?
Everybody
think so.
All right, so welcome to the stage. I'm going to allow each of you to introduce yourself and tell the audience a little bit about your business, and I will start to right, because that's kind of the easiest way to go. So Oliver, you go first.
So I'm Oliver Kukulis-Ribbins. I'm the Chief Sales Officer for Finexa. We're a performance marketing software tracking calls, leads, clicks, and everything in between.
Hello, I'm Heather. Does that work? Is that right? Yeah. So I'm Heather Peebles, and I'm the Commercial Director for Perkbox. We're an employee engagement platform.
Morning, everyone. My name is Matthew Adai. I am the CEO and co-founder of Cashback, a platform that rewards our members with cashback when they shop online with Black-owned businesses, and Afro Affiliates, an affiliate network that connects Black-owned brands with content creators and media houses to enable them to set up their own affiliate programs to support their growth.
Good morning. My name is Joep, and I'm CCO for Shoprise. We're a premium Google CSS partner operating in 21 countries across Europe.
Okay, so that's a little bit about all of you and your businesses. My first question to you this morning is that we're halfway through 2025 and the affiliate marketing landscape has already shifted dramatically. From your vantage point in the industry, what's the single biggest change that you've observed in how performance marketing operates today compared to just 18 months ago? Oliver, I'm going to start with you.
We're going in the same order. Yep. So for me, the biggest change that I've seen is the relationship between publishers and advertisers and the more open feedback loop that we're seeing. So we're seeing a lot more advertisers that are not just communicating when the CPA has been achieved, but also is actually communicating that a sale has happened, that, you know, further down the funnel, so that ultimately the publisher that is driving the traffic can optimize that better, not just for the initial CPA that they're getting paid for, but actually to drive long-term results for the advertiser they're working with.
And mine kind of follows on from that a little bit. So I see there being more of a new focus around strategic growth partners, whether that be sharing first-party data insights or working on co-branded campaigns. And I'll be remiss to sort of say that AI hasn't been, coming at us strong as well. So there's a lot more AI-powered content as well to support that richer campaign that you're working on.
Yeah, adding to that, I suppose one change, obviously, with AI, almost a bit of a pushback against it. A lot of what we found, consumers and publishers looking for more authenticity. What with a massive deluge of AI slop, we've had massive growth in people realizing that, okay, cool, this is like just artificially generated, it's not real, it doesn't really speak to us, and so a bit more of an emphasis on the requirement of the human element we've seen as a big change, at least over the last 12 months.
Mine is slightly different, I think, but I think for me the biggest difference is when you started talking to brands and publishers a couple of years ago. The number one question you got is like, how much sales can you deliver me, or how many leads can you deliver me, or how much volume can you deliver me? Well, right now, when you have the same conversations, all about incrementality. Like, what can you do alongside your own efforts? Like, can we test small and scale up from there? And I think that's a very, very good and healthy thing in our industry right now.
Yeah, so we're seeing a lot more transparency. We're seeing a lot more AI content coming into the mix, which is influencing campaigns. We're understanding that clients are getting a little bit more aggressive, not just about number of sales, but also like where those sales are coming from, which is good because it shows that the industry is actually moving forward and becoming more mature and thinking a little bit more laterally. Now, SMEs, there's quite a lot of SMEs in the room here today that probably either are starting their journey with affiliate marketing or have just leaped into affiliate marketing. Where are you seeing the biggest barriers preventing SMEs from leveraging affiliate programs effectively right now, and how can they overcome these challenges and enter this growing market? Because we are going to hear some stats tomorrow from chairman of the APMA, detailing just how big this industry has become. So what do you think SMEs need to be doing right now if they want to get in and actually kind of get on with it rather than missing out or missing the train?
For me, I think that the biggest thing that SMEs should be doing is starting as they mean to go on. So ensuring that they are getting good tracking in place, that they're getting good visibility on the traffic that they're generating, or that they're receiving, so that they can ensure that they scale with confidence rather than sort of just doing it blindly.
And I think as well, it's not about just going all in. I think maybe testing with just a handful of affiliates, working with some of your micro affiliate networks, doing a lot of test and learn will help you build the confidence about going in at a bigger level. So really about sort of being able to harness that and not get overwhelmed. I think actually getting overwhelmed quite quickly, especially if it's something that haven't got generally the expertise or the awareness about the affiliate industry, is key. So lean on some of your peers, the people you've met today as well, to get that confidence.
Starting small and then filling your knowledge gaps beyond that. A lot of the pushback we've seen with regards to SMEs setting up their own programs, a lot of it just comes out of almost ignorance. They don't really understand why affiliate marketing might work for them, or they might think it's too expensive. It can be effectively free, risk-free marketing for them. So the quicker they're able to understand that, and quicker you're able to start and then grow.
Yeah, and on top of that, I think the biggest recommendation I can give any SME in the room here, like if you really look at what differentiates an SME from an enterprise, it comes down to brand awareness. Yeah. And one way to deal with this is to listen to your publishers rather than just say no beforehand, because big brands are not doing this or whatsoever. Listen to your publisher, have an open dialogue, test small and scale up from there if things are working.
Yeah. So talking about AI, because I think everybody in the room here wants to get some sort of understanding how AI is going to impact their life, their job, their business. What do you think is going to happen in the performance space? Is the industry ready to make the leap to embrace AI and cull back human connection? Because that's really what this industry is built on, which is so vital to our relationships right now. What are your thoughts on this? I know it's a big question that we ask me first thing straight out of this. I know you have a lot of opinions.
So I think with AI, it is an enhancement. It shouldn't be replacement. It should be something that we utilise to for maybe more menial tasks or things that can be automated. So for us, that would mean things like fraud detection, or that would mean lead scoring or lead qualification. So for us recently, we've implemented something called AI agents, and that is for inbound calls so that it can pre-qualify calls prior to handing off to a sales agent. And that works really well because it is ensuring that the sales agent that is actually making the human connection is actually spending their time more effectively with qualified leads rather than actually doing the qualification process. So yeah, for me, I think it's enhancement rather than replacement.
Yeah, I follow on to from a similar vein to that. So coming from an employee benefits platform, really the whole industry is built on the human. The human is in HR. So for us, it's not generally that AI will replace the human, but it will be used as an assistive tool. We really have to lead with trust and empathy and really kind of collaborate and connect with our HR admins to sort of build that trust. So it's really going to maintain. But we have used it as a way to help improve customer query tools, to help increase response times and limit the number of queries that need to come in. We've used it as content creation, improving and speeding up the team efficiency to write Solus campaigns, for example. And then I would say using it as a way to help sort of personalize offers is another way in which we can use it.
We've had to do a bit of a pivot with regard to how we use and utilize AI. We started actually using it 2021, so this was like maybe a year before Sam Altman had everyone using it to write their best man speeches and doctor's notes and that. So we started with this browser extension called the Cash Black Afrobot. It's an acronym for Algorithm for Redirection of Black-Owned Traffic, which basically when you go on like Boots or Superdrug or Body Shop, it notifies you of a black-owned alternative skincare provider or retailer to take to their site for you to earn cashback on your purchases. And what we found that when we launched it on Twitter to automatically respond to queries of, oh, where can I find a black-owned hair care company or skincare company or whatever, it was all well and good a few years ago when it was automated and it was new and fresh and just like cool and innovative. But what we found now is that 'cause there's so much AI about, people are almost put off from it in the sense that, oh, this isn't real. I'm not speaking to a real person. I need an actual human connection to get a recommendation. So what we found is that it's all well and good for us using it for, say, content creation or just like make our processes better. But when we actually interact with consumers over it, it can like put them off a bit. Like they almost feel like their intelligence is being insulted. It's like, oh, this is obviously he has like 6 fingers or his eyes aren't in the right place or anything. So we found that so long as our immediate counterparties don't see it as us trying to cut corners and like take their loyalty to us for granted, then it's all good for us. So it's just about right now trying to work out a way to better implement the human element with the artificial one.
Ship, you've got a different view.
Yeah, for us, it's also something that we use to optimize, like behind the scenes, I would say. Like we do work a lot with product data feeds. And that's one of the most funny things in the industry. Quality differs a lot from advertiser to advertiser, and we're super dependent on this. So for us, AI gives the opportunity to actually add data really quickly, to optimize campaigns really quickly. We don't use any AI in our client communication or whatsoever, but definitely from the optimization perspective, it's definitely a lifesaver.
Can I just have a quick, like, show of hands in the room? How many people are actually using AI in their business right now? And not just for content writing, for agents. It's pretty big proportions. I think we're early adopters here. All right, we did speak a little bit about incrementality, which is a rather large word in every performance marketing room. So I want to kind of look at attribution and whether we should be worried and what we should be doing to get this right. So we're operating in an increasingly complex attribution environment as customer journeys are now so fragmented and unlinear. Why does affiliate marketing help brands with this, and how does the impact of tracking across different partner types impact and SMEs should be aware of in this instance today? So I don't know if I'm going to start with you because that's kind of like really your bag.
Yeah, so I think affiliate, we thrive in complex times. You know, we're adaptive, and with tracking and attribution, that's no different. We've obviously seen a big shift over the last few years in how we attribute ads and how we track in general. And I think it's just a case of ensuring that we have the right tech in place and that we're tracking server side and that we're ensuring that we are attributing everything that we can back to its original source. And the best way to do that is through ensuring that you have the right tech, ensuring that you are doing things via API where possible. And that's essentially it. And if it's something that is a challenge, then it's there's obviously lots of people that you can speak to, us being one of them, but there's plenty of stuff available to help with tracking and attribution if that's something that your business particularly struggles with.
How, because my question is always like, how important is it to be looking at attribution tracking if you're just starting out? Like, is that something that you need to be looking at the start when you're busy implementing your tracking, or is it something that you look at later once your program's a little bit more mature?
No, definitely from the beginning.
Okay.
If you're launching something and you're not tracking and attributing correctly, then you're flying blind. You can't optimize it efficiently. You can't see what is working and what isn't working. And it means that you're likely going to be spending in places that you don't need to be spending. So absolutely, you should be attributing straight from the beginning.
Yeah, and it's something, again, within sort of looking it through an employee benefit lens, it's something that my team look at when onboarding new partners. So we are looking to really kind of that onboarding criteria around, you know, do you have first party server to server tracking? What's your validation rules? You know, all of that sort of stuff. It's really important because really you're just going to have to unpick things later on. And then, you know, it might be we get a CFO in the business who has had his own personal bad experience with the platform, and that will then trickle down across the rest of that business, and then we churn that client. You know, it could have quite a dramatic effect for us within that space. So I think for us, poor tracking really does result in those user complaints, which then is a loss of trust, a drop in usage. And like I say, the worst thing that can happen then is that we churn that client, and that could have a knock-on effect, particularly if they're, for instance, one of our public sector framework clients. If we lose frameworks, that's quite a big deal for us as a business. So I think really, if you are starting out, look to see how you can adopt service-to-service tracking. What are your clear attribution rules? Have regular validations. I know we've got some great people in the room who have either done this or are thinking about doing this. And I know Dan here is from Moonpool, who's sat over there, so have a chat with him. Moonpool making great waves at really looking at the tracking element. It is a bit of a thorn in the side of the industry. So really sort of have a chat if you get, sorry Dan, good Dan. It's really important for us to get in front of this because there are going to be more measures, more privacy parameters that are put in place, and we need to be less reactive to that. Yeah.
Interesting perspective from you, Matthew, because you work both affiliate side and network side. So how important is attribution to you on both sides of the business?
Pretty important, I'd say. We're lucky, actually. For network side, we work with Everflow, who one of the sponsors to Hi Guys. So yeah, we're lucky that on that instance that we have a lot of help with it and we understand the importance of it. But then what it doesn't do is remind us that we always need to be communicating with our publishers to make sure that everything's being tested. Like testing is so important. Just the other day, we did a quick audit because you're wondering why like a huge publisher hadn't generated any revenue. We did our own like back of the envelope. Yeah, it is. It's ours as well when you're a small, medium enterprise, you're trying to do revenue and that. But we looked through it like really diligently. We're like, oh, okay, cool. So literally none of their tracking links have worked for the past 18 months, which like is obviously a nightmare for us, nightmare for them if we was to tell them, which we obviously would. But a lot of it just comes down to just testing, ensure that everything works. If it doesn't, mitigate that as soon as possible to ensure that things actually pan out for the future.
Sure.
Yeah, so for us it's also like it's a bit of a funny one that we basically what we do is we pay Google per click, and obviously we get paid per conversion, and there in between there's like a fine margin, I would say. So not having the tracking set up correctly will cause like massive issues, will cause into dormant. We have to like cut accounts. But apart from tracking, also validations. Like if you can understand that if we got presented an 80% validation, a cancellation rate without prior knowledge, then we will have to churn accounts.
Yeah. So failing to implement tracking correctly results in us not being able to deliver the performance and ultimately having to stop campaigns because we don't have the right data. All right, so I want to kind of move forward and talk about the partnership evolution because affiliate expands past just SEO and paid media and influencers and everything else. The nature of our partnerships is evolving beyond traditional affiliate models, and it's almost like it's becoming a payment mechanism, really. It's the way that you pay partners that makes it a performance relationship. So what is a tip or a warning or an insight or a trend that you can give to everybody in this room in terms of opening up their program and working across channels and across different types of partners, especially now with AI and everything that's coming into play?
Sorry, can you repeat that? That was a long question.
A tip, a trend, a warning, or an insight that people need to be aware of as they move forward, especially with all the things that we've discussed that are becoming more important in this space.
I think as in terms of warnings and insights and things like that, I don't think that there's anything that we've not already covered in some fashion here. But I think that the key things to look at here is that just ensure that you are working closely with partners, that you are ensuring that you are developing close relationships that are based on trust, that are based on true performance. So you're looking at the quality of the quality of the traffic, not just the volume of it. That you're making payments to affiliates quickly. That's always a key one, because that's what obviously keeps the affiliate wheel turning. and that ultimately you're growing together as a true partnership, and not just treating it as a just another channel, because there's other businesses involved in it.
And other business units. So I think I'd follow on from that and say, if you are in the performance marketing industry or you are starting a performance marketing program in your business, it's very important that you integrate with all of the other channels as well. So making sure that your paid media team, your SEO team, your influencer social media team are all singing from the same hymn sheet, are all following the same tracking and attribution, everything that you guys have spoken about here today. Atika, from you.
So for me, I would say that really, that I see it quite a lot where many affiliates won't actually talk to each other about what their strategic goals are. It sounds so simple, but actually being able to align with that business and their strategy is so important, because ultimately you both want that relationship to work. You want it to be successful. You want it to be profitable. So really sort of getting under the hood as to what those company strategy goals are is really key. So really we need to sort of boost that communication, more collaboration, more trust, more transparency. I think these are all buzzwords that we use probably most of it, a lot. And then I'd be remiss to say that actually working more with closed ecosystems is really valuable, because you get high intent audiences. And talking from Perks platforms, you know, generally all of our customers are employed, so they have a high disposable income and a good credit history. So have a look to see some of those publishers that you're working with and find new ways to be able to work with some more of the closed ecosystems, you know, loyalty programs and all of that. That was two. Sorry.
That's good. I want some warnings now.
I'll steal your second one and build on it then.
That's all right.
Closed ecosystems, 100%. Those like micro-influencers with a really tapped-in community, it's a gold mine. It's also a bit easier in our experience, just because they're probably a lot more approachable than like bigger affiliates, and they're a bit more like, because they're a bit greener, they're not too afraid with like what they're doing, how much. Yeah, you really can. Yeah. It's mold rather than like. Expect them to know how everything works and that, and they're a lot more like grateful and receptive to the help you do, and you're able to almost grow together. So tapping into more on the micro side for like closed groups, closed ecosystems, just smaller affiliates who have those locked in communities, that's a cheat code in my opinion.
Chip, from you, trend warning, tip or insight?
Yeah, I'll try to not echo other people too much, because it's going to be... But I would say, like, if you want to tap into the paid media ecosystem when it comes to publishers, it almost sounds like a no-brainer, but make sure that all your internal teams are aware, because you will be surprised how many times that we will start campaigns and the affiliate manager is looking at the numbers and are skyrocketing, so he's super happy. And then goes back to his CMO, and there's like a conflict with our paid media team. So make sure before you start certain campaigns that you align internally. That just helps with, get the most out of this.
We were talking about this panel, you said make sure that you know what your strategy is. And often people will start affiliate programs and they don't actually know what their strategy is. They think their strategy is sales, but actually what they're looking for is brand awareness, and they're working with all the wrong affiliates at all the wrong time in that pipeline. I see a lot of you are shaking your head, so that's good. All right, let's close off this panel with a prediction, because we're here to find out where we are, and we've discussed where we are, more transparency, better tracking. Where should we be heading? So what's the prediction that you want to give to everybody here today that they can take away and go, I'm going to think about that in my business, or I'm going to implement that in my business? And I'm going to start with you first. So give us your prediction for 2026.
Well, prediction is that we've been talking about incrementality a lot today, and this is something that obviously will move forward into 2026 as well. But I want to give more like a recommendation, and the ecosystem is changing so fast, and the amount of new publishers coming up, new technologies being used, especially AI as well. My biggest recommendation for any SME starting an affiliate right now is trial and error. Make a goal for yourself every month or every second month to try something new, to try a new different publisher type, a new different publisher, and just see what happens. Like test it, and if it works, scale from there. That would be the biggest recommendation.
How many people here have tested something and failed? How many people learned from that? It's good advice, right?
A big push towards authenticity. As much as we've been AI evangelists over the last few years, And as much as it's helped us like, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, when looking to attract new clients, publishers, advertisers, they want humans, particularly the consumers. We're all growing a bit more like aware and deeply concerned with the progression of AI and how, for want of a better word, scary the outlook can be from it. And the pushback will be, somewhat immediate in what we found and what we predict in the future. So better utilizing humans, the human interaction, like real intelligence as opposed to artificial, I think will be a bit of a change that we'll be seeing soon.
And I feel that the industry will naturally gravitate to being more performance-led rather than volume-led. Sounds ridiculous because obviously performance marketing, right, we're talking that. But really, I think there'll be more of a focus on working with fewer high-value affiliates who are long-term growth collaborators. I think that's really key. And those partnerships will be a lot deeper, a lot richer. And then you can work to scale, but I think that's generally where I feel it's going.
Oliver?
So for me, I think that there's going to be a bit of a shift around who is owning the offer. So we are seeing more and more affiliates and networks that are actually owning the offer or creating their own offer, and then using that to then capture consumer data, distribute that to various advertisers rather than just to one advertiser, meaning that they're able to monetize more of the traffic, they're able to actually own an asset and also own the consumer data, which has value in itself as well. So we're seeing a real shift towards that, and I think that we'll see an avalanche towards that as the year progresses.
Yeah. So I'm going to sum that up for you guys. One is keep testing, always be testing, and learn from the trial and error. Two, which Matthew said, is keep authentic. I think in the tsunami of AI content that's being driven right now, we still need to remember that our consumers want to be approached with humanized offers. Three, be performance-led, which is a really fantastic point from you, Heather, and really start focusing down on value versus volume. So a lot of people start affiliate programs and think that they need to just bring in 1,000 affiliates in order to be successful. Some of the most successful affiliate programs that I've ever worked on have had very few partners, but they go very, very deep. And then the last one, which I love, is we've always said content is king, but I think I'm going to change it now for you, Oliver, and say data is king. Data and capturing your data and knowing who owns your traffic sources is incredibly important. So tracking is super, super important, and you can speak to Oliver afterwards about what their platform does. So I'd like to thank you all for being on the stage, but I want to just ask if anybody in the audience would like to pick their brains because we've still got 5 minutes. So anybody got any burning questions that they want these experts to answer for them? And I'll just check the Slack chat. Anybody got any questions? Everybody all good about where we're heading and what's coming up next? One question. Oh, 2 questions. My lovely assistant will bring you a...
It's really, really interesting to see, what you're sharing. One of the big things that we're talking to clients about at the moment is sort of the impact, obviously, of AI search and AI search results, and of course in the US, AI modes. So how do you see that? Is that going to be a big shake-up, or is that just the next thing that that affiliates, publishers have to deal with?
Well, for us, it's obviously very good question because we only use Google. So if you see a shift from Google to AI searches, that would impact us a lot. For now, about 5% of the total searches come from AI. What you do see is people go to an AI tool, ask their questions, and then eventually end up at Google, and then do their product research. There's definitely going to be a shift, but there's also definitely going to be opportunities for publishers to dive into this. Obviously, this is not going to be a free model for the whole future. They wanted to monetize this ability as well. So I do see more opportunities than risk there, to be fair.
Good. Did you have a question as well, Marty?
Oh, thank you. Hello. As an established affiliate myself, one of the biggest things I come across, the more profitable a proffer I'm promoting, is competition and product saturation. So how do you tackle working with other affiliates who are in the same niche of you? For example, we want to promote Perkbox. We're doing really well. We're earning 3, 4, 5K a month through the affiliate program. And if we're sharing our underlying strategies to promote Perkbox, that becomes pretty cutthroat. The competition starts replicating and doing identical stuff to you. I understand you can build relationships with your target market, but it only takes 1 or 2 affiliates to do really well for that to get out to the rest of the affiliate community. And before you know it, like what's happened to me many, many times, from being too vocal about the products I'm promoting, a £5,000 a month passive lifestyle income coming into me turns into £150 a month income through pure product saturation. So how do we tackle stuff like that?
So first I'm going to ask you what company you work for.
I don't. I'm self-employed.
Oh, right, okay. It's a tricky one, isn't it? I would say, I think that comes back to what I was saying before about being more honed into building that communication stream with the affiliates to understand what their strategy is so that you can help it and be more nuanced, not just do a one-size-fits-all. You know, we want to try and avoid, you know, cannibalization if we're working with businesses that kind of operate the same or work in the same industries, you know, competitors. We want to make sure that we're not promoting the same brand next to one of their direct competitors because we want that to be successful. And so, that, you know, we don't want to avoid a difficult conversation with both of those brands when we have to tell them that it didn't work as planned. So really being a little bit more kind of strategic about how you promote those offers across all the various channels that you have. And maybe tapping more into the audience and using more of the personalized insights that you've got from your own data in-house around how your user base, their behaviors are, how they're spending, you know, what they're spending on, so that we're targeting relevant categories, which is increasing engagement with the users, but also increasing sales with brands. I really hope I've answered that to the best I can, but maybe.
I think what the guys have said as well is, from the affiliate side, we really do need to build those relationships with the affiliate managers early on and try and segment that relationship quicker so that you can get more of those deals, more of those, you know, better offers and things for your clients, and start to show the value earlier on in the relationship, because then naturally you will be treated as a VIP partner. So it's a bit of both, I think. Anybody else got any other questions?
Just to add to that as well, as a network for our affiliate, we like to pick and choose favourites sometimes with our affiliates. So no. Let me land. No, it's no idea how I win you back now after that. But so not in the strictest sense, like, oh, we like them because of X, Y, Z or whatever, but they're going to be better performing affiliates with whom we have a better relationship with, just because, like, there's less likely to be affiliate fraud with them. They don't have any negative relationship with their end consumers or the brands. So with those, we like to connect them with our more major brands. For instance, we have a huge financial services company we work with, and we have loads of influencers, those financial services content creators. Yeah. With whom we like to connect them. And we know that, okay, cool, this will work better with influencer A because of the relationship we have. It's been built on a degree of trust and transparency and everything. So I think best way to answer, if it is of any help, would be to just maintain as positive a relationship as possible as an affiliate with everyone with whom you work, because, like, a lot of bridges have been burnt with us by affiliates who've been less than reputable, with whom we can't really connect with major brands because of the, like, incremental risk on our end. So yeah, just, like, carry yourself, like, as best as you can as an affiliate, and it shouldn't be as big an issue as otherwise.
And also, I think, you know, flip this way. They're looking for high-value partners. You're looking for high-value partners too. So find the brands that you really resonate with and that you really want to work with, and only build the relationships with them versus trying to promote 100 brands at the same time in order to get that passive income. So I think that's good questions. Any more questions? Okay, can we give these guys a massive round of applause for starting us off today?